Hi everyone, it's Brittany from Create Your Future, and in today's video we are going to be talking about what happens during the process of living in the wish fulfilled or embodying the state of the wish fulfilled. So just before we get started, I did want to remind you guys that I am available for one-on-one coaching. If you need any help, any advice, any motivation, maybe just a specific question about your specific journey or desire, whatever it is, I'm available. The link to sign up with me will be in the description box below. And then I also wanted to mention that I am going to be doing a live meditation, how to get into the state of the wish fulfilled. So perfect video topic for today. But I will be doing a live guided meditation, helping you guys get into the state of the wish fulfilled. So let's get into today's topic. I want to talk about what a lot of my clients have been going through, and I know a lot of you guys as well have been going through, and that is things like, I am embodying the state as often as I can, and I am living in the wish fulfilled pretty much all day, but nothing's happening, and I really want my manifestation. I really want my desires. I'm getting irritated. I'm getting frustrated. I'm losing patience. It's taking too long. What's going on? Okay, guys, I completely understand all of that. And before I even get into talking about it, I want to read a quote to you, a Neville quote. So let me get it here. All right, so you cannot persist in wanting what you already have. Okay, guys, you cannot persist in wanting what you already have. If you assume you are what you desire to be to the point of ecstasy, you no longer want it. Your imaginal act is as much a creative act as a physical one, wherein man halts, shrinks, and is blessed. For as man creates his own likeness, so does your imaginal act transform itself into the likeness of your assumption. If, however, you do not reach the point of satisfaction, repeat the action over and over again until you feel as though you touched it and virtue went out of you. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys struggle to really understand Neville, so I'm going to talk about this a little bit. When you have a desire, your job as a conscious manifester is to fulfill that desire. That's your job, to fulfill that desire. So how do we do that? We fulfill it within. We fulfill it with imaginal acts. And imaginal acts are anything that you do as far as techniques. It doesn't have to be visualizing. I think a lot of people are thinking, well, imaginal act is a visualization. No, it's not. It's anything you do, talking to yourself, inner conversations, affirming, visualizing, scripting, any of that. Anything that you do within that helps you embody the state, that helps you get into the wish fulfilled, that helps you live as if, whatever you want to call it, that's an imaginal act. So what is happening when you do an imaginal act? Imaginal acts are what are transmitted out there into the 3D, into your world, and will be reflected back to you. But it always starts from within first. So when we're talking about fulfilling yourself, fulfilling your desires, like I said, it's your job to do that as soon as you have a desire. So go within, talk to yourself as the person, visualize as the person, affirm as the person, whatever it is that you're doing, from the person who already has what they want. Not thinking of it, not daydreaming and wishing that it were you, not hoping, not thinking of it as a fantasy, but literally as the person that already has their desires. That is your only job. Yes, you're going to continue to do it over and over and over again. And the reason for that is just because your dominant state of being is in a place of not having your desires. It's very, very, simple. You either are living as the person who has what they want or who doesn't have what they want, okay? So you're used to living as the person who doesn't have whatever it is that you're wanting right now. And that's fine. That's why we practice. That's why repetition is important. That is what I mean when I say persist in your imaginal acts. It doesn't mean just keep doing it over and over again and at some point it's going to stick. It means you're going to do this over and over again until that feeling of desire neutralizes. Okay? It neutralizes. So when you guys come to me and say, I don't have it and I want it, I'm still lonely, I'm still missing my person, I'm still struggling to feel good about myself, I still don't have the physical appearance changes that I want, I still am unhappy because I don't have the money. I get all of that, but that is telling me that you are not consistently embodying the version of you who has what you want. Because when you do that consistently, with repetition, you get to a point where you are so satisfied within that you are no longer desiring it outside of you. And I think a lot of you guys think that when coaches or teachers tell you things like, well, you just need to keep persisting and you need to keep imagining until you feel good, until you feel like, okay, yeah, I have what I want. It does not mean we're telling you this so you can trick yourself into believing you have it in the 3D. It doesn't mean you have to do it so often that you just decide, I'm good here, it's fine, I don't want my desire anymore. That's not what it means. And a lot of you guys, I think, are thinking that, because I've talked to several of you who have said to me, I still am going to want it in the 3D. The whole reason I'm doing this is to get it in the 3D. And yes, I completely understand that. Of course, that's what all of this is for. But that's not how you're going to get it. You're not going to get something by doing techniques so you can receive something in the 3D. That's not the way this works. And I think, in my opinion, if you want to manifest something, okay, so let's say you are manifesting an SP, okay? And you really want this person. As soon as I would have the desire for an SP, I would immediately go within, fulfill those desires within me. However you want to do that, guys. It can just be telling yourself that you're a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, whatever. Or it can be hearing this person tell you that they love the relationship that they have with you, telling you that you're the best husband or wife, whatever. It doesn't matter. However you do it, however you get to that point of feeling it true for you, and then you make that your focus. Instead of making this person outside of you your focus, you make your mindset your focus, getting clear on that mindset of the person who is a wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend, okay? That is what I would focus on. That's what I do. When I want something, when I have a desire, I want to manifest something, I get very clear on who I would be if I had my desires, what kind of things I would be thinking, what kind of thoughts I would be having, what kind of things I would even be doing, who would I be? And then I put all of my focus there until it shows up in the 3D. I don't put my focus on the person. I don't put my focus on the money. I don't put my focus on the physical change or the car or the house or whatever it is. I put my focus on who I am with that desire in my possession in the 3D. That's exactly what I do. That is what you guys really want to start practicing, because number one, when you get hung up on the thing that you want, and I'm not saying that I haven't been there, because I have, of course. We all want what we want, and I don't have anything against that. But your job as a conscious manifester is to become the person who already has it. So how can you be the person who already has it if you're doing these techniques to expect something to change outside of you? It's not going to change outside of you if it's not changing within you first. So you always, always, always want to look at yourself, go within, and figure out, how am I feeling about myself? Who am I being? Am I living my life as the person who has my desires, or am I not? And that doesn't mean that physically in the 3D you have to be doing things different. That doesn't mean you have to be, going to the movies and saving a seat next to you and pretending like this person's there. That doesn't mean you have to go spend tons of money and rack up credit card debt because you're living as a person who's wealthy. That's not what it means. I want you guys to ask yourself this question. Why do I want my desire? Why do I want it? And I don't mean what it will look like to other people. I mean, what am I wanting out of this desire? Am I wanting to feel love? Am I wanting to feel safety, security? Am I wanting to feel just overall contentment? That's usually what we're looking for. That's usually what we're wanting to feel. It's not anything to do with physically wanting this person here. And I know we think that, but let me bring this up to you guys. So I always use this example. I'll give two examples to maybe make more sense. But first example, let's think about all of the people who have been able to manifest a large sum of money, okay? Like, let's just say the lottery. And then if they haven't changed within, if they haven't changed how they're viewing themselves in relation to money, if they still are holding on to that mentality or that mindset of somebody who is broke or poor or who never has enough, then they're not going to keep that money. And I know you've seen this happen time and time again, where somebody wins the lottery and then they lose it all within a year or even less. That's not anything to do with what they did with the money. It's about who they truly are being inside, okay? Another example is people who get plastic surgery. I have nothing against that. If that's what you want to do, good for you. You do it. The problem is a lot of people do this seeking a feeling. It's not because they actually physically want to change something outside of them. It's because they want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel secure in who they are. They want to feel beautiful. They want to feel attractive. But if they aren't changing that within themselves first, and they're just changing on the outside, they're going to still feel the same way, and they're going to notice that that surgery didn't do anything for them. They're still feeling lack. They're still feeling a need to change and change and change. And I have several friends who have experienced the same thing. So I can tell you from experience, I know exactly what that looks like. They think changing the outside is what's going to make them happy. But then once they change it and they're still feeling sad and still feeling empty, whatever the case may be, it's not because of the surgery. It's because they hadn't changed within. They hadn't started to be the person who is loved, who is attractive, who is beautiful, who is whatever it is that they were looking for from taking that action in the 3D. Okay, so I know it feels like the thing that we want is outside of us, and we really want the money, or we really want the relationship or the house. And that's fine. I'm not telling you guys to not want those things. I just want you to understand where desire comes from. It comes from within, so your job is to fulfill it within. And when you do that, when you guys do that, you will experience it in the 3D. It will be reflected to you. There is no way around that. When you become the person, it shows up in your 3D. So again, it's not about, coaches or teachers telling you this stuff to just kind of get you to just forget about it, do it so much that you just don't want anything on the outside. No, that's not what I'm saying personally, at least. I don't know about other people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you do it so much, you fulfill yourself so often that you get to a place where you don't desire it anymore. And when you're there, it's done. It's truly done. There's nothing else you need to do. Now, if it feels good for you to continue to do these practices and these imaginal acts, then of course, go ahead and do it. You know, I always say for me, it feels a lot better for me to live in my imagination and have my desires until it shows up in the physical world, until it shows up in the 3D. I like doing that. It feels good to me. So one other thing that I wanted to mention was, you know, along the same lines, I've had clients tell me, you know, I'm doing the imaginal acts, I'm embodying the state, I'm going within, but then as soon as I come out of that technique or that practice, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling upset, I'm feeling anxious. And I completely get that, but that's just an indicator that you need to continue to do this. You need to continue to embody the state of this person who has their desires, because you're still living as the person dominantly who doesn't have it. And it's okay, guys. Like, I don't want you to think I'm like, well, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. You're not doing enough. That's not what I'm saying. It's a process. It's a process. The whole reason Neville even told you to repeat this over and over and over again is because he knows you have a desire, you want it, and until it's neutralized, you're not going to be feeling great about it. And when it's neutralized is when it can come in. So that is your goal here. Make your mindset who you're being, make that your manifestation. And when I say that, again, it's not because I'm trying to tell you to just forget about what you want. That's not what I'm saying. That's not necessary. But for me, it helps me to make my focus who I'm being in my mindset, and then knowing that it's a symptom. You know, it's going to come in no matter what. The manifestation is secondary. Okay? The manifestation is secondary. My desires coming into my reality are secondary. Primary is who I'm being. Fulfilling that desire within so often that I get to the point that I don't desire it anymore. Because you can't desire what you already have. Okay, guys? I hope that this video was helpful. I know it will be. I know it will be helpful for at least one of you guys. I am, you know, I just want to help you really truly understand not only how to get your manifestation, but why you're doing these things, why you do these techniques, why you do these practices, why we tell you certain things, why we tell you the 3D doesn't matter, why we tell you X, Y, and Z. It's not just random things that we're just telling you to try to help you deal with what you're feeling right now until it happens and trying to push you and push you and push you off of caring about your manifestation. That's not what it is. At least me personally, I want you guys to understand what's happening and how this process works so you can feel a bit more calm about it all. And you can truly have faith and trust in yourself, because that's what you really want to cultivate here. Trust in who you are, faith in who you are, knowing that this is the way the world works. And if you continue to do this over and over and over again, it will show up in your 3D. There's no way around it. Okay? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope that this helped some of you guys. You know, maybe it's like the little push you needed, or maybe it was just something that clicked for you that you didn't really understand before. But that is my intention for this video, to really get you guys to understand what you're doing here, why you're doing these things, and to kind of just take a little weight of that pressure off of you and really understand that there's nothing to worry about. It's already yours. You have everything within. And when you continue to fulfill that within yourself, it will show up for you in your physical world. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me. Obviously, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Hope you were having a great weekend, and I will see you in the next video.